the Daily Journal's Prep Focus on Football. I'm your host, Tim Aaron, senior sports writer for the Daily Journal. Across from me, the man, the myth, the legend, the authority on high school football in the state of Illinois, Steve Soucy. Busy week for you, huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I heard you're getting more calls than the prettiest girl at prom time.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but the calls are a little bit more frequent from far-flung places that I've only barely heard of.
And it's not just coaches around this area, coaches around the state call you to kind of see your thoughts on the playoff projections.
Yeah, I got a funny call the other day. I had a coach call me and ask me if he was safe in Class 7A because he wanted to print some playoff t-shirts and wanted to make sure that it was okay that he had made an advance order. So I thought that was the strangest call that I got this week at least.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Well, our area has 6 teams in and 1 team waiting to get in, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But boy, week 9 already. It just seems like last week was week 8. And speaking of week 8, both of us 10-2. Pretty decent picks for the week. However, there's a new sheriff in town as far as the leaders go. New sports editor Dave Sirico has taken over. 79 wins. Becky Slingerland and myself have 78, and a couple games behind Steve Soucy. What's going on?
I like to make it interesting for you guys because I know I'm going to storm you over the next couple weeks, and history proves that that's usually correct. Yeah. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. Let you taste the lead a little bit and experience it a little bit until I storm past you.
I think in my this will be the 20th football season, I think I've won 3 times.
Yeah.
I think. I know for certain it's been 2, but I think it's 3.
I've won a few more than 3.
Yeah, you've won probably 17.
Yeah.
But you're the one that makes up the sheet, so you cheat.
Oh,
okay, well, let's start with our Week 9 games here that we're going to look at. First of all, Bradley Bourbonnais, which has already clinched a playoff spot, will be traveling to Stagg.
Well, Stagg is not good. That's not really an attempt at an insult at Stagg. That's just a simple fact, and Bradley will probably roll to their 6th victory there and more firmly secure their place in the Class 7A draw.
I like that pick as well. Rock Island Alleman coming to town to play Kankakee. At the beginning of the year, we thought this might be an interesting game, and probably not going to pan out that way.
Yeah, Kankakee was eliminated from playoff consideration last week with their loss to Rich Central, so the incentive for Kankakee probably isn't that great, and Rock Island Alleman has proven themselves to be a really good football team.
And you're picking Alleman?
I'm going with Alleman.
I will also go with Alleman. Also in town, Hales Franciscan comes to play Bishop McNamara.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a situation here where the Irish are just trying to tune some things up heading into the playoffs. Hales is typically one of the weaker teams in the Catholic League. They're a little better this year, but I wouldn't expect Bishop McNamara to be challenged too greatly this week, and I'm going to go with the Irish.
I will also take the Irish, but it's football, right? It's not
basketball.
Okay, I'll take the Irish. Okay, very interesting game. The Interstate 8 small winner, Wilmington, who is 8-0, will go to Sandwich to play the large champion, Sandwich, which is also 8-0. What's going to happen here? Yeah,
it's just one of 2 situations in the state this week where 2 8-0 teams are battling in the last week. And Wilmington's got some issues right now. I mean, they had to sit superstar Jeremy Bailey for most of last week's win over Coal City. And if he doesn't play in this game or is limited, I would have to think Sandwich is probably going to be in pretty good shape in this game. Wilmington's protecting a lengthy regular season winning streak right now, and it's really hard for me to pick against Wilmington. I don't do it very often. I'm not going to do it here, but it wouldn't stun me if Sandwich won this game. I'm taking Wilmington.
I will also take Wilmington, but I wasn't aware of that situation. Maybe I'll want to rethink that. Next, the Sangamon Valley Championship is on the line. Central, which is 7-1, goes to Momence, also 7-1.
Well, this is a game that both teams have been earmarking for several weeks now on their schedules in regards of who will win the Sangamon Valley Conference title. And Momence is probably trying to prove something here. A lot of people have said that Central is going to roll to this conference championship after some of their early results. And Momence just keeps picking off wins too. I'm going to pick Central, but with a caveat, I don't dislike you, Momence. This is not a reflection on you, so I'm going to go with Central.
Yeah, you'll be stoned on the sidelines there.
Yeah.
Traditional meaning of stoned. I will also take Central. I think Brian Spooner is a good coach, and I think the Comets have enough offense, but this is going to be in the 40s both ways, isn't it? Yeah. Our next game is the most important game, I suppose. Manteno will go to Braidwood to play Reed Custer. Manteno needs a win here.
Yeah, Manteno's been in this situation before, and they've been in this situation before against Reed Custer, and it hasn't gone their way. They've had football since 2002 in Manteno. They've never made the playoffs. They've missed in devastating fashion on several occasions. Reed Custer's looking to play spoiler, but I think Manteno will finally get over the hump and get that coveted playoff berth that they've been searching for several seasons.
I'll also take Manteno. They had a couple of devastating losses early in the season, and they hung in there, and they put themselves in a position to, they have to win to get in, but it's a very good chance that they will win. A couple other games on the schedule here this week. Herscher at Lisle.
I'm going to go with Herscher. Lyle's playing for a playoff berth as well, but I think Herscher's a couple steps ahead of him right now.
Sounds like a good pick for me too. Dwight at Coal City.
Another one of those playing for pride games. Both of those teams have been eliminated from the playoffs. Basically, you're looking at a situation where I think that Coal City's probably just a little bit ahead of them.
Yeah, I'll take Coal City as well. One near and dear to my heart, Iroquois West at Watseka.
Well, you're looking at a situation here where both teams have had rough seasons, but both teams could, put a feather in their cap with a win here to close out their regular season because there's nothing beyond this. Last year, this game ended in a forfeit because of a flu epidemic. Obviously, this year they're going to settle it on the field. I'm going to go with Iroquois West reluctantly, but that's what I'm picking.
Well, I will go with the alma mater here. Watseka will get its second win. Maybe a little homer pick there, but we should probably pick Seneca and Piatone, don't you think?
Yeah, that's another one of those I-8 games this week where the teams are just looking to cap their regular seasons with a victory. I'm going to go with Piatone, but I do think it'll be a competitive game.
Okay. And finally, Hoopeston at Milford.
Milford trying to avoid going winless in the Vermilion Valley, and Hoopeston's usually a team that they can manage with, but it looks like this year Hoopeston's a little better and Milford's a little down, so I'm going to go with Hoopeston.
I'll take Hoopeston as well and back out. I'll take Piatone over Seneca as well also. Okay, well that completes the schedule. Who was our player of the week this week?
We're going to go with Manteno's Josh Seamer. Manteno looked like they were on the verge of maybe losing a pivotal game to Lisle last week, and Seamer just exploded in the fourth quarter, ended up with over 330 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, reestablishing a school record that he set for rushing yards in a game. So Josh had a big game, and obviously Manteno will be leaning on him to do it again this week.
Sounds like a good pick. Friday night, I'm guessing you're going to Central and Momence.
That's where I'll be.
Okay, well I thought so. I'm gonna go see how good Rock Island Alleman is as they play Kankakee.
Ordinarily, I would ask you to let me know how good they are, but you probably won't tell me anyway, will you?
Well, we do have to pick playoff games, so I got to keep the information to myself if something pops up. So.
Alrighty.
Okay, and Saturday, of course, there's no games, but you're going to be busy on Saturday night as well. Why don't you tell the people what's happening Saturday night with you?
Yeah, Saturday I'll be making a call and appearance on the Illinois High School Association's state playoff pairing show. Have a little bit of time to discuss what happened in the final week of the season, talk about some teams around the state. Looking forward to that. It'll be a short appearance, but it'll give me an opportunity to talk about some more high school football teams, and that's always what I like to do. So we'll see how that goes. And
folks can catch that if you have Comcast on the 101 channel on
yes.
Comcast. Other than that, you'll have to pick it up on the internet, ihsa.org. We'll have that. And make certain you grab Thursday's edition of the Daily Journal. We're going to have all of the Pigskin Profits playoff projections, which is a lot of P's, and I did that almost flawlessly. We're going to have that. We're going to have stats and also staff picks and a column from Mr. Susie. So until then, we'll see you on the sidelines.